Revealed. The incredible journey of the overlooked girl who transformed TV forever. Emma Tanner stood at the edge of the stage, the lights bright above her, casting shadows that danced across the wooden floor of Maplewood Community Center. She could feel every heartbeat echo in her chest. This was it, her moment to shine. A girl from a small town, raised in a modest home, where dreams often drifted like leaves in the autumn wind, was ready to take flight. But first, she had to let her voice break through the suffocating silence that had always held her back. With each note she practiced, Emma poured her heart into her singing, each session becoming a lifeline for her soul. Her mother, worn from long shifts at the diner, would watch with weary eyes, too tired to cheer but too proud to silence her daughter. Her father, a war veteran, wrestled with his own shadows, and the quiet moments of their home felt heavy at times, a chorus of unspoken battles. But Emma's dreams were vast, stretching far beyond the horizon that bordered their small town. As summer melted into the crispness of autumn, the annual Maplewood Talent Show loomed near, and Emma saw it not just as an event but as an escape, a ticket to the place she had always belonged. She rehearsed endlessly, belting out songs that spoke of struggles, resilience, and hope. In every lyric, she felt a sense of freedom, a shimmer of the identity she yearned to claim. Her classmates giggled at her ambition, stuck in their comfortable routines. They mocked what they couldn't understand. "What makes you think you can win?" they sneered, dismissing her dreams like clouds in a blue sky. But their doubt only fueled her fire. Each practice session was a rebellion against the limitations she had grown up with. Tensions ran high as rivalries sparked, friends became foes, and voices clashed within the cozy confines of Maplewood. Emma's blossoming act stirred emotions, igniting passionate debate among the townspeople, ripping the facade off hidden insecurities and biases. She was accused of trying too hard, of thinking she was better than the rest, a cruel twist of the very dreams she fought for. And with every jab, her confidence cracked, planting doubt deep in her heart. Just as she gathered the courage to audition for a major television network scouting talent from the show, calamity struck. A day before the audition, a family emergency hit. Devastated, she felt like a dreamer trapped in a faded movie reel, her spirit dampened. Yet, in a twist of fate, her community, those who once overlooked her, began to sit up and take notice. They rallied behind her, talking about her passion, sharing her story. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. With a rush of newfound support, Emma felt a flicker of hope ignite within her. The air buzzed with a renewed fire as she prepared to confront her fears head-on, determined to break through the barriers of insecurity and community judgment that loomed over her like storm clouds. As she stepped on stage for her pivotal audition, every haunting doubt echoed in her mind. But so did the voices of those rallying behind her. The weight of expectation filled the room. Would the world finally see her talent? Or would those shadows snuff out the bright dreams hidden in her heart? Emma took a deep breath as she stepped into the spotlight. The stage felt alive beneath her feet, vibrating with the energy of countless dreams from those who had stood where she was now. The audience quieted, their faces a mix of anticipation and skepticism. A sea of familiar and unfamiliar faces watched. Teachers, friends, and even those who had once mocked her. With her heart racing, Emma grabbed the microphone and closed her eyes. The first note escaped her lips, breaking the silence like a crack of thunder. It was powerful, raw, and full of emotion. She sang not just for herself but for every person who had ever felt overlooked and underestimated. The words washed over her, giving life to her story, her struggles, and her aspirations. As she moved through the song, the initial skepticism of the audience began to shift. Emma felt warmth radiating from their reactions. A few heads bobbed, some lips turned upward, and a murmur of approval rippled through the crowd. Her mother grasped the edge of her seat, eyes glistening with tears, filled with pride and fear. Emma's father, usually stoic, leaned forward, his face a combination of disbelief and awe. The chorus hit like a wave, a surge of hope and determination. She connected with the audience, each note forging a bridge where once there was only distance. They weren't just watching, they were feeling every breath she took. For the first time, Emma sensed that she belonged, that her dreams were no longer figments of her imagination but something tangible, unfolding right before her. But just as the song reached its emotional peak, uncertainty crept back in. What if this moment wasn't enough? Would it change anything? Doubt flickered in her mind like an unwelcome visitor. Emma fought to shake it off as she pressed into the last verse, pouring her heart into the performance. With one final note, she stretched her voice to its limits. Silence settled over the room, heavy and expectant. Emma held the note, suspended in time, feeling as if she were soaring. And when she finally closed her eyes, her heart could sense it, they were with her. When she opened her eyes, the audience erupted into applause. A roar filled the hall, echoes of 1,000 voices rising in unison. Emma blinked back tears of joy and disbelief. In that moment, she became more than the girl they saw once. She was now a part of something bigger, a symbol of perseverance and hope. As the judges, moved by her performance, whispered among themselves, Emma's heart thundered in her chest. She had poured everything into that song. It was a piece of her. Would it be enough? The suspense hung thick in the air, and Emma felt that familiar tug of anxiety mixed with exhilaration. Just then, one of the judges stood, the spotlight catching their face. Would they voice the words that could change everything? Emma felt the world slow around her, every breath demanding to be filled with hope. What came next could either uplift her or shatter her dreams once more. Before we announced the results, the judge began, a slight smile playing at the corners of their mouth. I need to share something profoundly important. What could it be? Emma's heart raced with a mix of fear and excitement. Would this define her journey, or was it merely the beginning? Emma, the judge continued, pausing for a moment that felt like an eternity. In your performance tonight, you reminded us of the power of vulnerability. You've shown strength in ways that many of us will never know. But there's something else. Something that speaks to the very heart of our competition. Emma felt a rush of warmth, her nerves momentarily forgotten. Was he implying something deeper? The audience leaned forward, their breaths collectively held. Your journey resonates with so many, he said, lifting his hand as if to emphasize his words. We've seen countless talents in our time, but yours stood out because it is grounded in reality, the real struggles, the challenges of self-discovery, and ultimately acceptance. You didn't just sing tonight. You shared a part of you that was nearly lost. A wave of emotion washed over her. She had fought hard for every moment, every note, but hearing it echoed back at her felt like a validation she had desperately sought. This moment became a part of her, one she would carry forever. Tonight is not just about the best voice, he continued. It's about the voice that carries the most weight, the voice that inspires change. There are opportunities beyond this stage that could shape your future. I believe you are ready for them. Emma's heart soared. What was he saying? Was there a path laid out before her? The applause around her grew louder as her eyes scanned the crowd, meeting her mother's gaze, who was now openly weeping with joy. Her father, barely able to contain his pride, stood up. The sense of belonging wrapped around her like a warm hug. For once, she felt the world was just within reach. The judge cleared his throat, bringing the focus back. As part of tonight's challenge, we invite the top performers to a mentorship program that connects them with industry professionals who can guide them along their journey. Emma, it's my pleasure to announce that you are one of those selected to move forward into this program. The cheers erupted again, cascading around her like a sweet melody. Emma felt the weight of her fears cascade down, the endless nights spent second-guessing her choices, the countless setbacks she had faced, all diminished in that one thrilling moment. But just as she began to bask in the joy, doubt edged back in. What would come next? Would she be able to navigate the complexities of this new world? Emma's heart pounded with uncertainty. What does this really mean? She thought. Am I truly ready for this? The judge, noticing her moment of hesitation, stepped closer. Remember, this is just the beginning. Embrace every challenge and don't shy away from the expectations. It's okay to be scared as long as you don't let fear hold you back. As she looked into his encouraging eyes, Emma felt a flicker of determination. She had faced rejection, isolation, and countless hurdles. Maybe this was finally her turn to shine. The buzz of excitement around her was palpable, but deep down, a question lingered. What lay ahead, and would she have the strength to overcome whatever obstacles came her way? With renewed energy, Emma stepped down from the stage, the weight of the world resting on her shoulders, but also filled with the promise of new beginnings. As she joined her family, her mind raced with possibilities. What would the mentorship program hold? Would she falter? And more importantly, could she transform this opportunity into something beyond her wildest dreams? Just as those questions churned in her head, her phone buzzed with a notification. She glanced at the screen, and her heart skipped a beat. There it was, an urgent message that promised to turn her world upside down once again. Emma's hands trembled as she stared at the screen. It was a message from the show's producer, something she had never expected to receive. Her heart raced, each beat echoing in her ears as she opened the notification. Emma, congratulations on being selected. We'd like to talk to you about a special feature segment on your journey. Please call us back at your earliest convenience. Just when the excitement from her performance was washing over her, fresh waves of anxiety crashed in. A special feature? What did that even mean? Her mind raced through the possibilities. She had seen others showcased, their stories told with such reverence, but they were seasoned. They had glittering resumes. What was her story really worth? Her mother nudged her, concern etched on her face. Are you okay, honey? You look pale, she said, squeezing Emma's hand. I just got a message from the producers, Emma stammered, still staring at the phone. They want to feature my journey. Her father swiftly chimed in, enthusiasm lighting up his eyes. That's fantastic, Emma. This could be huge for you. A small smile broke across her face, but the feeling surrounding it felt different, almost tentative. She couldn't shake the fear that haunted her. But what if I mess it up? What if they find out I'm just me? Emma, look at what you've accomplished already. You've got talent, resilience, and a story that needs to be shared. Her mother told her, eyes glistening. This is your moment. Emma looked around at her family. The chaotic energy from earlier filled the air like electricity, but now it felt laced with something more profound. They believed in her. Taking a deep breath, Emma finally clicked the phone to call back. It rang twice before a familiar voice answered. Emma, brilliant. We're so excited to discuss this with you, the producer said, enthusiasm bubbling over. They talked about plans, future clips, and what her journey would entail. But amidst the excitement, Emma's mind kept drifting back to the same question. Could she truly step into the limelight and be the person they needed her to be? As she ended the call, the uncertainty loomed over her like a cloud. The thrill of the opportunity danced with the shadows of inadequacy. What if she couldn't deliver? What if she stumbled under the weight of newfound expectations? Later that night, Emma lay in bed, her mind racing like a spinning wheel. She had never stopped to think about what a true spotlight could do. Did she even want it? The thought of letting the world see her struggles both thrilled and terrified her. Suddenly, a part of her whispered, what if this was more than just a competition? What if this was about sharing her voice, about inspiring others? That thought hung in the air like a gentle breeze, offering some relief against the encroaching fear. But just then, another notification buzzed on her phone, pulling her back to reality. It was a message from an unknown number, simply saying, I know your story, be ready for the truth to unfold. Emma's heart skipped as confusion etched her brow. What did that even mean? Who was this person? What truth awaited her? As the night deepened around her, She felt the pressing weight of anticipation. This journey was unfolding in ways she hadn't imagined, filled with both light and shadow. What lay ahead? And could she be brave enough to face it all? Emma woke up the next morning to the warm glow of sunlight filtering through her window. The chirping of birds outside seemed almost too cheerful for the storm brewing in her mind. She grabbed her phone, the image of the cryptic message still fresh, and reread it. I know your story, be ready for the truth to unfold. Was this a prank? Nervously, she scrolled through her contacts, searching for a familiar face tied to that unknown number. Nothing. The weight of uncertainty sat squarely on her shoulders. She rolled out of bed, her head spinning as she made her way to the kitchen. Her parents were already up, pouring their usual morning coffee. The comforting smell filled the air but felt distant, as if she were watching through a foggy window. Good morning. What were your plans today? Her dad asked, flipping through a newspaper. Emma hesitated. I'm not sure. Just needed to sort some thoughts. Her mother, making pancakes, paused and glanced over. You're worried about the producers, aren't you? You're ready for this. The doubt in Emma's heart flared. They want to feature me, but what if they find out I'm just normal? What if my story isn't enough? Honey, her dad chimed in, normalize what? The rest of the world needs to see you just as you are. Everyone has a story worth telling. Those words hung in the air, spinning through her mind like a warm breeze pushing away gray clouds. In a way, they were true. But still, the fear lingered. What if this was her moment to fail? Later that afternoon, Emma decided to head to the park. Nature often calmed her, offering clarity she struggled to find in her cluttered thoughts. As she sat on a bench watching passers-by, she couldn't help but think about her journey. Would sharing her story inspire others? Would it actually help anyone, or just expose her insecurities? Suddenly, her phone buzzed again. It was a notification from an app she rarely used, an old forum thread, where she had shared her early struggles in pursuing her passion for performing. The title read, From Overlooked to Spotlight, Your Journey Matters. With a click, she opened it. People had responded, sharing their own simple yet profound stories. Struggles with self-worth, battling depression, the search for confidence. It was a tapestry of resilience. As she read, tears began to streak down her cheeks. Maybe sharing her voice wasn't about seeking validation, but rather reminding others they weren't alone. Suddenly, her phone buzzed with a new message. The unknown number again. Her heart raced as she opened it. You don't have to be perfect. Your truth matters. It's time to speak. Her hands shook, but something shifted within her. What if sharing her journey was a way to connect, to show others it was okay to embrace the messiness of life? That realization lit a spark in her chest. A fire she hadn't felt in ages started to dance. What if she could truly inspire others? Emma rushed home, her mind racing with plans. In that moment of determination, she felt ready not just for the producers or the spotlight, but for her own truth. But just as she reached her door, a figure loomed in the distance. It was someone she recognized from the past, someone deeply entwined in her story. What did this meeting mean? The next chapter of her journey was about to unfold. What would happen when her past and present collided? Emma's heart thudded in her chest as she squinted against the late afternoon sunlight, struggling to make sense of the figure standing before her. It was Mia, a childhood friend she hadn't seen in years. Mia had always been the outgoing one, the girl with dreams as big as the sky, while Emma often felt like she was just trying to keep up. Mia? Emma called out, the name barely escaping her lips as memories flooded back, days spent laughing, sharing secrets, and dreaming about the future. But those days had drifted away like autumn leaves, carried off by the winds of life. Mia, she said again, this time with more confidence as she stepped closer. Mia's smile broke through the hazy tension between them, but the light in her eyes seemed tempered by something deeper. I heard you were back in town. Mia hesitated, glancing around as if the magic of their reunion had drawn a crowd. I got your message about the producers. Emma felt the weight of it all, a mix of excitement and discomfort. You know about that? Everyone knows. You're a big deal now. Mia's voice was teasing but laced with sincerity. But Emma, I'm here for something else. What do you mean? Emma's curiosity was piqued, but she felt a churning in her stomach. Was this about their past? About who Emma had become? Mia's expression shifted. I need to talk to you. It's important. The two walked a little further into the park, the sounds of laughter and chatter fading into a comfortable silence. Emma could feel her heart pounding in her chest, not just from the awkward way their paths had crossed, but from curiosity about what Mia wanted to say, what truth might be hidden beneath the surface. When they finally stopped at a secluded spot by a small pond, Mia turned to face her. I've been following what you've been doing. You're incredible, Emma. This opportunity with the producers. You deserve it, she said, her voice gentle yet firm. Thanks, Emma replied, feeling warmth spread through her, suddenly aware of how she had missed this kind of encouragement. But I'm scared. What if they discover the real me? What if it's not enough? Mia's eyes softened. Listen, I struggled too, you know? When we were kids, I was in your shadow, constantly worried about living up to what everyone expected from me. But we both know how powerful our stories are. It's the struggles, the moments of doubt that make us who we are. Just then, Emma noticed a flicker of determination in Mia's gaze, something she had always admired. You've been through a lot, haven't you? Mia nodded, an unspoken weight heavy in the air between them. There's something else I've got to share. It's about our family, Emma. Something I've kept to myself for too long. Emma's breath caught in her throat. Family. The word felt like a thread tugging on memories she thought she'd tucked away. What do you mean? This isn't just your story, Mia said, her voice trembling slightly. It involves mine and others. You have to hear me out. There's a truth about our past. As her friend spoke, Emma felt a mix of fear and anticipation wrapping around her heart. What could Mia reveal that would bind their stories together? Everything is connected, Emma. And it's time you knew, Mia continued, her eyes locking onto Emma's with an intensity that pierced through her. Emma took a deep breath, wondering if this was the moment that would change everything. What if uncovering the truth about her past would finally empower her to share her story and step into the spotlight with confidence? But could she handle what Mia was about to reveal? A rush of uncertainty pulsed through her. The truth was beckoning, drawing them into a new chapter. What if the truths hidden in their past were too heavy to bear? Mia took a slow breath, collecting her thoughts like scattered leaves. The afternoon sun cast dancing reflections on the pond, but Emma could barely feel the warmth. Her thoughts were tangled in uncertainty. What if I'm not ready for this? Emma whispered, her voice faltering. The stakes suddenly felt higher. Mia stepped closer, her expression serious. You've been ready your whole life, Emma. But you have to be willing to embrace it. Trust me. Emma looked down, letting the weight of Mia's words settle in. Could it be that this moment, this secret, was the piece she didn't even know she'd been missing? The connection she desperately sought to make sense of her own journey? Mia, just tell me, Emma urged, lifting her head to meet those bright, earnest eyes. What do you know? Took a moment, but finally Mia spoke. Our families, they have a history, a shared history. There were things happening that we didn't know back then. Her hands fidgeted together, as if trying to weave the words into something coherent. Things that could change how you see your path forward. Emma felt her heart race. Every instinct told her to turn back, to stay safe and hidden. Yet, the curiosity gripped her, compelling her to stay. What kind of things? Your mom. Mia paused as if the name itself held too much power. She was involved in something big. And I think it's connected to what you're doing now. Emma's breath caught again. Her mother. Memories of whispered conversations and half-closed doors flooded back. She had seen her mom glow with passion when she talked about social justice, about making a difference, but never in the context of anything grand. What do you mean? She volunteered for community projects. She was passionate about changing lives. But I found out she was part of a bigger picture. A network, Emma. They helped people like us, people who felt lost or broken. And they wanted their voices to be heard. Emma shook her head, trying to process it all. Why didn't anyone say anything? Why keep it a secret? Because Mia hesitated, her voice lowering. Because sometimes the truth involves shadows, things you don't want to relive. I think they were protecting you. A chill ran through Emma as she considered the implications, the shadows her mother may have hidden from her, and what had been left unsaid. But how do you know all this? I found old papers, letters. I didn't know what I was looking for, but it started to make sense. Your mother didn't just mold you, Emma. She believed in your voice, too. And the producers? They want stories that matter. Emma's heart raced, a mix of hope and fear surging through her. It was like swimming with the current, dangerous yet thrilling. So you think if I learn this story, I can be more? Absolutely. You have the platform now. But you need to face what's been hidden. Discover what your mom wanted to give you. Face the truth. Mia's plea pulsed with urgency, and Emma felt herself leaning forward, the pull of destiny urging her onward. This was the unanswered puzzle of her life, the missing piece she had yearned for. The wind picked up, rustling the leaves as Emma stood frozen, her heart battling emotions. But as the sun dipped lower in the sky, she realized something profound. This was her voice too. Yet with this revelation came another question she hadn't expected. Could she confront those shadows without losing herself in the process? Do you think I can handle it? She finally asked, her voice trembling. Mia's eyes shone with fierce determination. You've already faced more than most. This is your chance to make everything right. But it starts with you, Emma. Starts now. As the last light of day faded behind the trees, Emma felt a mixture of fear and newfound courage swell within her. Could she truly rise to the occasion, embracing the path paved by shadows? In that moment, she knew one thing for certain. The truth was out there, waiting for her. But what would it reveal, and would it leave her in pieces or empower her to soar? The stakes felt higher than ever, and somewhere in that uncertainty, she discovered that she was finally ready to find out. But what if this journey led her to face things far more frightening than she had imagined? The air was thick with anticipation as Emma stared at the water, its surface a mirror reflecting her turmoil. Fear and determination wove through her thoughts like tangled strands. She took a step forward, and every heartbeat echoed with the promise of discovery. Mia, Emma began, her voice steadying. Where do we start? I don't even know what I'm looking for. Mia smiled softly, like a lantern lighting the way through the night. We start with your mom. I think she left clues, messages about the network and what they did. We need to dig deeper into those letters. Emma nodded, itching to uncover the truth yet terrified of what she might find. They had spent countless afternoons talking about dreams of storytelling, but never about this hidden legacy. Now it felt like standing at the edge of a cliff, knowing one leap could change everything. As they walked back to Mia's house, each footfall seemed to ignite a spark of hope. The neighborhood looked different in this new light. Familiar faces passing by felt like silent witnesses to her journey, the innocent smiles, the shared moments of laughter, and the weight of unspoken histories surrounding them all. Inside, Mia led Emma to a room filled with old boxes and bags, remnants of past projects and shared endeavors. Dust motes danced in the light as she rummaged through them, pulling out various papers. We might find something here that connects your mom to the network. Emma's hands trembled slightly as she reached for a bundle of yellowed letters tied with a fraying ribbon. The scent of old paper filled the air, a tangible link to a time before she even existed. She glanced at Mia, who nodded encouragingly, and slowly opened the first letter. Words leaped off the page, her mother's handwriting flowed with an easy grace. She spoke of community meetings, of hope for those voiceless in society, and of dreams deferred. Emma's heart ached as she read, realizing this was a facet of her mother's life she had never seen. With each letter, the pieces of her mother's world began to emerge, each word weaving together a tapestry of passion and resilience. But then, one sentence sent a shiver down her spine. I fear what lies ahead, the shadows that seek to bury us. Shadows, Emma whispered. What did she mean? What shadows? Mia looked grave. Could be about opposition, pressures to stay silent. Even within families, sometimes people think they're protecting us by keeping things hidden. But the shadows won't disappear if we ignore them. Emma swallowed hard. What if those shadows lurked closer than she knew? They spent hours poring over the letters, piecing together stories of activism, friendship, and unyielding courage. Every revelation ignited a determination within Emma. With each discovery, she felt closer to her mother, to the warrior spirit that lived in her blood. Finally, she came across a letter addressed to her. The date was months before her mother had passed. Emma, it began. If you ever feel lost, I want you to remember. Your voice is your greatest gift. Tears stung Emma's eyes as she wiped them away, compelling herself to finish reading. Be brave, my love. The world needs you to speak. Never let shadows still your light. Mia leaned in closer. You have something valuable, Emma. A mission left for you to uncover. Emma took a deep breath, the weight of her mother's words cascading over her like warm sunlight after a storm. This was what Mia had been urging her to embrace, the chance to follow in her mother's footsteps. But the anxiety lingered like a whisper in the back of her mind. What if at the end of this journey, she uncovered things that were painful or worse, those that shattered her understanding of her own family? Emma, Mia said softly, breaking through her thoughts. You ready? With determination, Emma set the letter down. I have to know the truth. I can't run from it. As they prepared to dive deeper, the room felt charged with possibility. But somewhere in the shadows, doubt flickered, reminding Emma that every truth has its challenges. And just as she steeled herself to face whatever revelations awaited, a familiar voice rang out her father's, Emma. Mia, dinner's ready. The interruption felt like a breath of reality amidst the tidal wave of emotions. Emma exchanged a glance with Mia, both filled with unspoken understanding. Tomorrow. We keep searching, Emma said, a spark of resolve in her voice. But a deeper question lingered, pressing against her heart like a distant thunderstorm. What truths might she uncover tomorrow, and would they change her forever? That night, Emma lay in bed, the letter still fresh in her mind. Every curve of her mother's script felt like a lifeline, tethering her to a past that was more complex than she had ever imagined. Shadows danced on the walls of her room, and in the silence, her thoughts raced. Was she ready for the truth? How far would she have to dig to uncover it? The idea that her mother worried about shadows left her unsettled. What if those shadows weren't just memories but were still lurking, waiting to emerge and disrupt her newfound understanding? Morning light spilled into her room, warm and inviting. But Emma couldn't shake the chill of worry that had settled over her. She dressed quickly, her mind buzzing with anticipation and trepidation. When she arrived at Mia's, she could see determination mirrored on her friend's face. Let us go back to your house, Mia suggested, her tone resolute. We can search for more letters or documents. Your mom must have kept other things. Emma hesitated at the thought of stepping back into her childhood home, a place where memories should have bloomed in bright colors, but now felt tinged with gray. Yet she knew it was time to confront the past fully, even if it scared her. As they entered her house, the familiar scent of old wood and dust greeted her. Emma's heart thrummed in her chest. She led Mia to her mother's study, a space filled with books, papers, and the remnants of a life lived in passion. It felt sacred and still, holding secrets that had been waiting for her to uncover. They began to sift through bookshelves and drawers, careful not to disturb too much. Sweep by sweep, they unveiled fragments of her mother's life. In the bottom drawer, Emma discovered another stack of letters, envelopes cluttered together. Her hands shook as she reached down, pulling them out gently. Want to open a few? Mia asked, peering over her shoulder, her eyes wide with excitement. Emma nodded, heart racing with every envelope she opened. The letters revealed more of her mother's activism, but they also detailed meetings with people she didn't recognize, names that felt foreign and distant. With each letter, an intricate web of connections unfolded, and the word network echoed in her mind. Then, she found a letter marked with a red ink seal, not a personal note, but an official document. The return address sent a jolt through her. It was from a law firm, dated just a month before her mother's passing. What does it say? Mia pushed, curiosity etched on her face. Emma felt a wave of panic as she unfolded the crisp paper. The words spilled out details of a trust, a warning about a potential lawsuit against unseen parties. The undertones of conspiracy dripped from the page. Her mother had been involved in something bigger, something that could not only change lives but could also threaten her own. Mia gasped beside her, drawing Emma's attention. Emma, do you think this is what your mom meant by the shadows? Emma's breath hitched. So, these weren't just childhood fears, she was preparing for something. What had she found out? They shared a look, a blend of wonder and dread passing between them. Emma felt like she was spiraling down a rabbit hole, every twist revealing more distressing truths. Would the revelation bring closure, or would it consume everything she thought she knew? I need to see more, Emma decided firmly, her pulse quickening. Whatever it is, I want to understand it fully. Mia nodded, but doubt flickered in her eyes. Just be careful, okay? Some discoveries can change everything. Emma understood that more than ever. As they resumed their search, every creak of the old house felt like a step deeper into the unknown. She was on the brink of uncovering a legacy that was powerful and fragile. But there was a deeper fear lingering. If her mother had fought to protect something vital, what price had come with that fight? Each answer they sought felt like a key to a door she wasn't sure she was ready to unlock. And just when she thought she could push through, embracing whatever lay ahead, a sudden noise echoed. From downstairs, a door slamming shut. Emma's breath caught, her heart racing. Someone was home. Who could it be? Would they interrupt her mission, or could they be part of the shadows that lingered in her life? The weight of uncertainty pressed down on her as she exchanged a glance with Mia, both frozen in anticipation of what or who came next. Emma's heart raced as she exchanged a worried glance with Mia. Who was it? Was it her father, or someone else entirely? The house suddenly felt much larger, the walls closing in as if trapping them in an ever-tightening space. Do you think it's someone we don't want to see? Mia whispered, her eyes wide with anxiety. Only one way to find out, Emma replied, summoning her courage. They hadn't come this far just to hide. With hesitant footsteps, they crept toward the staircase, ears straining for any sound, nerves humming with uncertainty. As they approached the bottom of the stairs, Emma froze. Mia, look! A figure stood framed in the doorway, backlit by the afternoon sun flooding in from outside. It was her father, face flushed, carrying a box of old books. Dad, you scared us, she exclaimed, relief flooding through her. But it was tinged with something more, fear of revealing the truth that hung like a thick fog over their work. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt, he said, a shadow crossing his face as he noticed the papers strewn about. What are you two doing up here, anyway? There was a hint of suspicion in his voice, and Emma felt the weight of her mother's secret pressing down on her chest. Mia stepped forward, her expression softened with empathy. We're just going through some old letters, she said gently. Emma found a lot about her mom's work. His brows furrowed, and Emma held her breath, preparing for a wave of denial or anger. But instead, his expression softened. Your mom was passionate about that, he said quietly, a hint of longing in his eyes. She believed in making a difference. I just wish she hadn't kept so much hidden. This was the moment Emma had been both dreading and yearning for. What do you mean? What did she keep hidden? Her voice trembled with urgency. Her father glanced around, discomfort flashing across his face. It's complicated, Emma. Your mom was involved in movements that could stir trouble. I thought I was protecting you from her past. Mia's eyes widened, and Emma's heart pounded in her ears. The shadows of her mother's legacy were deeper than she knew. But she was trying to help people, Emma insisted. Yes, but she also made enemies. Our family, we've always been in danger from those who don't want change. His voice cracked slightly, revealing cracks in the armor he had worn since her mother's death. Emma felt her heart sinking and rising in tandem. You mean to tell me she was fighting something bigger than all of us? Why didn't you tell me? I wanted to shield you from the dangers. The threats had died down, or so I thought. I didn't want to scare you away from chasing your dreams or knowing the truth of what she faced. Mia looked conflicted, glancing at Emma, drawing them closer. This was the truth Emma had longed for, yet it felt like a weight being thrust onto her shoulders. But now I need to know everything, Emma said firmly. I owe it to her. We both do. Her father looked at her, the storm in his eyes shifting to something softer. Your mom believed in her voice. I see that same fire in you. If this is what you need, I won't hold you back any longer. A sense of connection flooded through her. Then help me find out what she was working on. If I'm to be in the spotlight, let me honor her fight. He nodded slowly, understanding the weight of her words. Let us go through the rest. I think I have some documents too, like letters and notes she left in storage. Emma felt a spark of hope ignite within her. Perhaps there was a path forward, a way to honor her mother's legacy and share her voice with the world. She and Mia shared a determined glance, hearts racing with the thrill of the challenge ahead. They delved into the unknown together. As they sifted through boxes filled with yellowed pages and forgotten memories, something within Emma transformed. She wasn't just uncovering truths. She was stepping into her mother's purpose, a sanctuary where shadows turned to light. Emma's heart glowed as they pieced together fragments of courage and resilience. They found names she recognized, allies her mother had once fought alongside, mentors who could guide her mission toward community change. The sun dipped lower, casting a golden hue across their small enclave. Emma felt the warmth embrace her, infusing her with hope and determination. This wasn't just her journey. It was her mother's, their family's, their roots running deep within a collective fight for empowerment and justice. With bold resolve, Emma stood straighter, feeling the call to action surge within her. Let us do this. I want to share this story. We can inspire others. As the night gathered, Emma knew this moment marked a new beginning, a chance to weave her voice into the fabric of change. The journey wouldn't be easy. There would be shadows to navigate and truths to unveil. But she felt ready, not just for herself, but for all those who had come before her, for the ones who were still striving to find their way in the dark. And with one unified spirit, they began their fight, embracing the light as they stepped forward into a destiny waiting to unfold. Now that you have experienced this inspiring conclusion, you need to subscribe now to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and show your support for more transformative tales. Comment below your feelings about this journey and what it means to you. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Let us spread the message that our voices matter and that together, we can inspire change.